Okay, so this kit is called an ElectricKit Advanced, but it's all pretty straightforward to use effectively. This is how you control the AGA, this sort of control panel here, and essentially a bit like a normal oven, it's just split into the different cooking zones. So working your way through sort of systematically, you've got under this lid, it's just an induction unit, an induction hob. Obviously with induction you've got to make sure your pan goes on before it works, so if I turn it on now I won't be able to adjust any temperatures because I haven't got a pan on it. You must put a pan on it for it to work properly. So that's your induction units. That's just a regular sort of induction hob. And then over on here, this right hand lid, this is just a sort of standard hot AGA hob. So there's heat coming off that physically now, and that is controlled coming over to this control panel by this one here. So obviously it shows the induction, that you can't do anything with that because all the induction controls are obviously there like that. So you haven't got any induction controls on here, it just has the icon to show you it's got it. But for the hob on the right, you, as I say, you tap it, and then all you've got these plus and minus buttons to turn the temperature up and down, and the temperature goes in increments from 1 to 8. So sort of 1, 2, 3, those are almost like simmering through to your medium. 4, 5, that's sort of a medium heat, and then sort of 6, 7, 8, that's more like boiling, fast boiling sort of temperatures. So sort of up, sort of, you'd imagine 80, sort of north of 300 degrees Celsius sort of thing. So that was set on sort of 6. Normally, if you're not using it but you want the heat from it, you might leave it on about 4, about half heat to kind of get some heat off of it, but not to leave it on super high. So obviously you normally tend to leave your AGA lids down, and then back to the main control screen, you've then got your oven. So again, it's just separated out basically. So going to the main oven, the top right oven, that control is this one here, and all you've got is, when you look at it, you've got a live reading of what the actual temperature is. So at the moment, because we've just had this on, we've had it on for about 20 minutes, this is at 90 degrees, but it's set to be 220. You can adjust that set temperature to whatever you like. So let's say if you're planning on baking something, you could put in 180, set that, and then that 91 then will climb to 180 and not go any further. So you can set it however you like. The maximum temperature, as it says there, is quite small, but the maximum is 280. Obviously 280 is quite violent, but normal roasting temperature is usually kind of 220, 230. So if you wanted to use that as a roasting oven, you'd probably look, sort of 220, 230, you can roast in it. The way that I've just showed you how to use that oven is essentially the same for the other one. So exactly the same for the one below. This one can also go up to a maximum of 280. So effectively these two ovens, this top oven and bottom oven, are in effect the same oven. They've both got the same maximum temperature. They both work in the same way. So you've got, and that's where it's a bit different from a normal AGA, because on a traditional AGA, obviously one oven is always hotter, one oven is always cooler. So target temperature is 200 on that one. It's currently 45. And again, the last one is what this is called the hot cupboard, and you've just got one control for this. This only goes to a maximum of 120 because it's a lot cooler, and this is more for warming and simmering and sort of slow cooking. And you've got a large compartment in this. It's actually all one space inside, so hence you've only got one control, even though it's over two ovens. So because they are actually, what you can do, it's all one thing basically. So that's why there's only one control, even though there's two doors. So, but that's it essentially. You've just got live readings. Each one you tap to go into change. You don't have to tap the induction on this because the controls are on there, obviously. And that really is it. And if you don't want to use a part, so say you're not going to use the ovens at all because it's hot or whatever, you can just tap the power buttons and they will just turn the ovens off then. And when they're red, they're off. And then if you tap them again to bring them back on, they'll go green to come on, and that's all it is basically.